The Sunday Roundtable is President accountable. Is this the Easter Sunday Roundtable or is this the Easter Sunday Roundtable? That's what I have to figure out. Easter, right? Joining us this morning, Democratic political analyst Marianne Marsh, Republican political analyst Rob Gray. Great to see you guys. So we just heard from Shannon Liss Reardon. Marianne, did you hear anything that might help or hurt her campaign?
Well, she's definitely racked up a number of union endorsements, and she made an emphasis on that. However, she is behind Andrea Campbell in the polls and in fundraising, and it's surprising given her previous statewide run for the United States Senate. I think she made it very clear today that she's going to put in whatever money she needs to put in to be competitive here, and usually that combination does not work out in statewide races in Massachusetts.
I mean, I think that's the most interesting thing. Can she outspend Campbell 2-1? If she's willing to do that, she might win.
But she can't raise it, so she's not putting together the organization to do that, I think.
But she does emphasize that she's got more cash in the bank because she's put her own money
Ads on TV, they matter too.
They do.
Yeah. It's true. It's a battle line we could see miles away. Governor Baker wants tax cuts for those at both ends of the economic spectrum since the state is flushed with cash. But the House Democrats want to spend it on struggling middle-class programs. Classic Democrat versus Republican philosophy. Does Baker have any chance of winning this one, Rob?
Well, the interesting thing on this is this lays it all out. The Democrats, not only do they want to thwart Charlie Baker's tax cuts, which independent organizations like the Mass Taxpayers Foundation are supporting and saying are right for the Massachusetts economy, they want to spend $2 billion more in their budget than Charlie Baker put in his budget. I think they're off base with the people. I think Baker is on point, and I think he has a chance to get some of it.
Marianne, disagree, huh?
Yeah, it's not going to. No, it's not going to happen. And here's why. First of all, the wealthiest don't need it, and it doesn't help the economy, doesn't help the state. It only adds to the deficit. Look at the Trump tax cut and every tax cut before it. On the lower end, 5% of nothing's nothing. So it doesn't help people at the lower end either. What Democrats are doing, House Democrats in Massachusetts, Michelle Wu, congressional Democrats, they want to use this money to make the investments that no one has done, even in the best of times. Better house, make sure you can have an affordable home, better jobs, better education. So it puts people on the path for economic security. That's what everyone should be doing right now. That's what matters, especially coming out of COVID.
Investment means spending. Investment means spending.
And tax cuts never trickle down.
And often wasteful spending.
Never trickle down. Never helps anybody, just adds to the deficit.
We could go on.
I know. I was just waiting.
We could go on forever.
Right.
It's a classic Democrat versus Republican.
Next item is the Supreme Court, and we've been talking about this specific thing for a little bit now. There's chatter again about adding more U.S. Supreme Court justices to the High Court. Senator from Massachusetts Ed Markey thinks that newly confirmed U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson needs more allies. Senator Markey wants 4 more seats. Marianne, is he dreaming on that front?
I think before we get to 4 more seats, Ed Markey, Chuck Schumer, and all of the Democrats in the Senate have to thwart Mitch McConnell, who is already saying he will not have another Supreme Court hearing on another justice while Biden is president. He did that to Barack Obama. Barack Obama let him do it. That cannot happen. So if I'm the Democrats in the Senate, I'm appointing as many judges as I can up and down and stopping him from doing that. And if you want to try to expand the court, go ahead.
Rob, what do you think?
33%. That's Joe Biden's job approval rating in the new Q poll that came out this week. 54% disapprove. So Democrats are going to lose the House and the Senate. This is never going to happen. It's an Ed Markey pipe dream. And guess what? If Republicans win the presidency as well, Ed Markey will suddenly not be in favor of this. It's political posturing and trying to get a political advantage, plain and simple.
Democrats don't lose the Senate and the House.
Oh, boy.
We'll find out soon enough, won't we?
We'll find.
We got to remember this moment, everybody. Okay, moving to a more local issue. Boston Marathon security has been a major issue for Charlie Baker since he took office. Now, as he leaves, it's back at the top of the priority list with the New York subway shootings this past week. No one doubts his administration and the Boston police are up to the task. But are events like this the reason many decide not to run for public office? In other words, is crisis management the worst part of the job, Rob?
I actually think it's because why they do run. I think a lot of people like Charlie Baker think they have something to offer. Management experience, calm in a crisis. That's why they do it. But let's remember, Boston police in the news, Marathon. Michelle Wu's budget cuts the police by 1%. Last year, she supported cutting the police by 10%. So remember that when you're worried about your security tomorrow.
She did rearrange some of the accounts and how the money is spent, but you're correct. It is only a 1% cut. Marianne.
I think they can handle the 1%. Look, here's the reality. We live in a culture of violence, and if you aren't up to the job of dealing with any of the tragedies previous elected officials have handled, do not run. But the reality is, this is the world we live in. And so one hopes this never happens. If you have any reason to believe that you can't handle it, you would be terrible, don't. But for everybody else, be prepared and do the job and hope it never happens.
Speaking of the governor, if we didn't know it before, it is now confirmed Charlie Baker is washing his hands of the state GOP leadership. He and Karen Polito will not be going to this year's convention, and the governor's picking very few candidates to help out. If Democrats win all of the top slots this fall, Robin, I'm going to start with you. Is your party dead for the time being?
Listen, there was a hostile takeover of the state GOP. Charlie Baker lost that takeover. And since then, there was a shootout in a lifeboat, excuse me. Charlie Baker jumped over the side. You've got Jim Lyons, the chairman, in the boat, but with bullet holes in the hull and slowly sinking. Looks very bad for Republicans in Massachusetts this year.
Marianne?
I have a feeling you're going to agree with him on this one.
I'll go one step further.
No.
I mean, the Republican Party in Massachusetts is dead and buried. It's a Trump party, and Jim Lyons, to Rob's point, sunk it completely. So they're not going to win barely anything this year, or anything that means anything. What is going to happen until Trump leaves and people abandon him, what does exist is the opportunity for, a center-right unenrolled party. But at this point, moderate Democrats will get all those votes. There are no Republicans to do that.